Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel, and I am so excited to talk about this topic because I've never watched The Bachelor or The Bachelorette before the season with Colton. So anything from Colton and beyond, from Colton and before, I've never watched The Bachelor. And I started watching it this year on Colton's season. And I think the only reason why I started watching it was because like I was on Twitter and then I saw Colton and I was like, he's really cute and he's the Bachelor. So I was like, let me just watch the season, and I really ended up falling in love watching this, his season. And then I ended up watching Hannah's season, which just recently wrapped up. And honestly, I wanted to like really talk about, 5 things that I learned from watching this Bachelorette season, because there's a lot about Hannah that is so relatable for me, and how I see love and how I see relationships, and I kind of wanted to share that with you guys. And so if you haven't watched the season, I definitely recommend that you go watch Hannah's season before even watching this video, because then you probably wouldn't really know what I'm talking about. But if you have watched it, then you'll know that this season was pretty awesome, even though she went through a ton of drama. So I'm gonna get it started, but before I do, if you haven't done it already, go ahead and subscribe to my channel right now and give this video a thumbs up. All right. So the first thing that I learned watching The Bachelorette this season is that you should be real. I think it's so important when you are going out and dating to be real, to be yourself, to be open, and to be honest, and to be very authentic. I think that's something, as I've experienced in my dating life, that I want to be myself, and I want to be open, and I want to be vulnerable, and I want to be able to know the deepest, darkest secrets of people's lives, because I think that's where true connection happens. And I think with my experience in dating, I haven't really met people who are willing to be open and are really ready to wanna be open to love. And I think that's something about this show that I love so much, is that there are people here who are looking for love and that they're willing to open their hearts. And so I think it's important to be real, and it's important to be honest and be vulnerable, because that is where you're able to show who you are, and you can be yourself, and you don't have to be anybody else but you. So I think that is super important, and that's the number one thing that I took away from this season, because Hannah literally drilled it into these guys to be like, hey guys, be open with me, be honest with me. I want to know everything about your life, and I want you to know who I am. And so that was beautiful. I totally related to that so much. And so on to the next one. So the second thing that I learned from this Bachelorette season is, that you should listen to your heart and to not take outside opinions. And what I mean by that is that in the season, there was a situation where Hannah was dating a guy, Luke P, which everyone would know if you watch the season, where their connection was there. But throughout the season, a lot of the guys in the house were trying to tell Hannah that Luke P is not a really good guy for her. And she was hearing all of this and was very conflicted on the inside, and gave Luke a ton of chances. And so she had a lot of outside influence. She had her own feelings about how she felt about Luke, and then also having Luke there to having to defend himself during this whole season. And so throughout the entire season, she mentioned to the guys hey, I understand that you guys have your issues with Luke, but I have a relationship with each and every single one of you, and I want you guys to focus on, our relationship when it's just one-on-one. So basically letting people know to stay in their lane. And so she did have to go through a lot of drama with Lupi, and you know, she ended up having to let him go, and actually like not let him go, but basically like kicked him out and was like, get out of my face, because she had finally seen what everybody else had seen in the house. But going back to my point, I think it's important that you hear people's opinions, especially if you are going to be in a relationship or you are dating somebody, because maybe they are seeing something that you're not, but you ultimately, at the end of the day, it's your decision, and you have to follow your heart, and you have to see, you know, whether what these people are saying is good for you or is gonna harm you. So I say follow your heart, follow your gut. If you know there's something wrong, then I would say I would maybe have that conversation with your partner and say, hey, let's have this conversation, because the truth always comes out. So even if it doesn't show up when you guys have that conversation, I think it'll show up whether it's true or not, whatever. So follow your heart, you know, don't always allow outside influences to influence your decisions. Make the decisions for yourself, and know that you own that decision and that you take accountability for making that decision, and not allowing somebody else to influence that. So that's what my point is. So number 3, we'll go straight into don't ignore the red flags. And honestly, when I was watching this season, Lupi was a huge red flag, but Hannah didn't really see it till the end, and I don't blame her for it. You know, she explained herself in the show, watch it, but don't ignore the red flags. Red flags are there to allow you to, you know, really ask yourself, like, hey, this is off. Maybe I need to talk to this person about this, or maybe I need to bring this topic up because it's not sitting well with me. And typically when you have red flags, it's going against your values, or it's going against something that you probably don't agree with. And I think it's something that it's important to have those things be brought up. I know that there have been red flags that I've had to address and I've had to communicate in my previous relationships, and when those things don't line up and when things are brought up and they don't change, it's like you have to know what you value and you have to know what you want in a relationship. And if those things aren't being met and red flags are not being addressed, then you're gonna go down a path where you're gonna be disappointed, you're gonna be heartbroken, and it's not gonna be fun, because you could have avoided that red flag. I mean, you could have avoided that pain and that hurt if you would have stopped and said, hey, let me just check this out. It doesn't feel right in my spirit. It doesn't feel right in my gut. Let's talk about this. And so my advice to you is, anytime that you feel like something's off, like you will know if something is off, because trust me, it's not a good feeling either, but you'll know. So check the red flags and make sure that you talk about it, and then make sure that, you know, everything can be aligned and that you guys are in the right direction and on the same page. So I'm gonna end on that note. So number 4 is a good one. So number 4, I really love this because this entire season, these guys were they were just gentlemen. Like, the guys that she was able to have on this season, like, I wish that there were a group of guys that were fighting for my love exactly like her, because these guys literally would have done anything. They treated her with so much respect. Like, honestly, like, I was like, these guys are awesome. Like, I wish there was like several gay men that were like this, that were like going after me. But my 4th point is what I learned from this season is that there is still hope for good guys out there. And I know in the dating culture right now, whether you're gay, whether you're straight, I see it with my straight friends too. Like, it is challenging. I'm not gonna say it's hard, it's challenging dating right now. And, you know, it's not easy to be going out on dates and meeting guys who honestly aren't valuing you in the way that you should be valued. And so, you know, it gave me hope, because I know that I faced many experiences with guys that weren't really the best for me, and I had to know my worth and know what I deserve and know what I want to be able to say no to the guys that aren't treating me right, and to say yes to the guys that are, you know, willing to want to get to know me and want to value me and respect me for who I am. And so I think it's important to know that there is hope, that there are guys out there that are going to see you for you, who are going to treat you with respect, who are going to value you, and that you're going to be able to, you know, one day be happy with, because you knew your worth and you saw what you deserved and what you valued, and that you waited patiently to have that happen. Something in the finale that Hannah said was that she wants a husband, but she doesn't need a husband. And that's a growth on her part, and I saw that growth through the entire season, and I'm just so proud of her. She is such an inspiration. I'm so glad I was able to watch the season. But ending up to number 5, which goes into that, is you are enough, and you are going to be loved, and you don't need a man, or you don't need a woman in your life to complete you. Those are things that we want. Those are things that we dream of. But those things are just an addition to our lives. And I think that's something that's important that she brought to the show, was knowing your self-worth, knowing what you deserve, knowing what you want, and saying no to those things that are not serving you and not gonna give you the life that you know you deserve. And that is something that everything from the season I was so related to, and it was something that was very therapeutic for myself, because I had went through a heartbreak several months ago, and you know, just watching this season just allowed me to kind of heal, and to also really check where I am in my self-worth, and how I treat myself, and how I value myself, and how I want another guy to value me and respect me. And so I think that this season was just so incredible. I just believe that, you know, she will find love. And I mean, she did ask out Tyler C on a date, so I'm hoping for the best for the two of them. But yeah, those are the 5 things that I took away from the season of The Bachelorette. It was an amazing season. I look forward to watching more seasons in the future. And if you guys are fans of The Bachelor and The Bachelorette, go ahead and leave your comments at the bottom. And like I said, subscribe to my channel, like this video if you liked it and it helped you in your own life and what you're gonna go through in dating. And follow me on my socials. I'm at Simply Kenjay. I have so much more content that's gonna be coming out, and I'm so excited just to continue to make more videos for you guys, because that's something that I'm working towards. I got a new microphone and everything, so I'm super excited about it. So until next time, you guys, I will talk to you guys later. Bye.